Welcome
to Shamba Shape Up.
We have traveled all over East Africa to find hard-working farmers.
We want to celebrate them while giving them the knowledge they need,
so they can adapt and make their farms more productive even while the climate changes.
We want to support them to get better yields and increase their income.
We will see how farmers can benefit from our experts' advice
while learning from each other in so many ways.
Join us on these journeys and share in the farmers' experiences
on the Shamba Shape Up Safari.
In the midst of nature, beyond raging rivers, the quest for farmlands continues. It is an adventure that takes me deep into the African jungles, where unknown creatures hide in the trees. Recent long dry spells have given way to intense rain that has brought back to life mighty rivers. And I take a moment to enjoy the strength of nature in silence and peace, uninterrupted.
Tony!
Oh, well.
Tony! Tony! Let's go! The farmer is waiting!
Welcome to Shamba Shape Up.
This week, we are in Tharaka Nithi County.
My name's Jane Muthoni. When I came here in the year 2017 from Western, when I was very down with a lot of stresses, because when I was there in Western, I left all my properties there because of the gender-based violence. I came here empty-handed and I started with a half an acre. And now I'm managing 7 acres. I'm also practicing livestock farming. Farming is my best business. Yes.
Hello.
Hello too.
How are you?
Welcome. I'm very fine.
Ah, here you are. How are you?
Fine. I'm fine.
Wow.
Welcome.
We are so happy to be here.
Yes, we
Welcome.
are. So, Jane, what kind of a farmer are you?
I'm a mixed farmer. Yeah.
So, what do you have?
I have sorghum, 5 acres. I have palm millet, 1 acre. I have maize, 1 acre. And the groundnut, I have 1 acre. I have 1 dairy cow, a type of Asher, and I have 2 beef cattle, and I have 22 chickens.
Wow. Mixed farming indeed.
Yes.
So any challenges with all the crops and the livestock?
Yes, I have very many challenges. The rainfall was insufficient, so it affected my crops,
Yes.
and I didn't harvest well. We also have a problem of ticks. It is very hot, and there are very many here, but we are trying to control them by means of spraying.
Well, we are here, and we've come with experts. We look at those issues you've mentioned. Are you happy to see us?
I'm very happy.
And we get that inspiration from you. And with that, we always get straight to work. So we want to set up our tent so that we can be able to serve you better.
Okay.
Just give us 2-3 minutes and then we'll be right back with
Thank
you.
you.
All right?
Welcome.
Is there millet porridge?
It is here
Let's
in
go.
plenty.
Let's go to work.
Okay.
Tony!
It is very important that you dry off your dairy cow on time and in the right way so that you avoid serious loss of either the cow or the calf.
The challenges that I'm facing in my dairy farming, when I was going for that cow, I was expecting at least to be harvesting at least 15 liters or 20 liters per day. But you see now, I'm getting 5 liters only.
Jane is new to dairy farming, but she's very eager to learn and do well. That is why we have called in Stephen Kanyi from CKL Africa to get her empowered.
So Jane, why did you decide you wanted to keep a dairy cow?
I've been watching Shamba Shape Up, and I saw how farmers are managing their dairy cows and how they're harvesting.
Okay.
So I was interested,
You're
and I decided to get one.
Okay.
I went for this particular cow because I was told it is in calf, and I'm expecting a calf by the next 2 months.
So any challenges so far?
I have challenges. When I was buying this particular cow, they told me for now it is being milked 8 liters per day.
Okay.
And when it has given birth immediately, it is milked in between 20 liters and 18 liters.
So now it's giving you
5 liters.
5 liters.
Yeah.
Where did you buy this cow? In the market, from a farmer?
No, from a farmer.
From a farmer.
Yeah.
All right. Kanyi,
Yes, Carol.
what's your first-hand report?
Thank you so much. I've inspected the cow. I've also inspected the shed. As you can see now where the cow is, the cow doesn't have enough space. And where she is feeding, it is the same place that she is sleeping on. And when you check on her body, you can see that she is muddy.
Yes.
So meaning that she is not very comfortable. It could be one of the reasons why she is not giving milk.
Kanyi explains that the cow structure is small, muddy, and doesn't have a water trough. It is important to keep a cow clean and wash its udder to avoid diseases like mastitis.
So now that our cow is in calf, what can our farmer do to be able to get sufficient milk?
One thing that I would say that we are looking at drying this cow.
Kanyi explains that there are 2 key periods before a cow gives birth. 1, drying off. This is from 7 to 8.5 months. And 2, steaming up. This is from 8.5 months to 9 months.
For you to get very good production of milk, you have to consider that the cow should be dried at 7 months. And we say that the drying period is 50 to 60 days that the cow is not being milked. It is dried. The things that you are supposed not to do during the drying off, 1, you are not supposed to dry the cow abruptly. So should be a gradual process. If you are milking 3 times, then you make sure that during the last 2 weeks of drying up, then you start reducing the number of milkings. Number 2, for the 2 months, you are supposed to give very good quality mineral salt. And in this case, we are going to give Macric dry cow. When you provide Macric dry cow, the salt is going to enable this animal to get the metabolic processes very well. And because it is a balance of minerals, the animal is able to respond very well. It is able to build on the reserves of calcium.
Let's recap. You should start drying off your cow when it is 7 months old and in calf. Drying off means 1, you gradually stop milking the cow, and 2, you phase out the supplements that boost milk production and instead give it supplements such as Macric dry cow, which helps with calcium. Stop milking your cow gradually over the first 2 weeks of drying off. This means if you're milking it 3 times a day, reduce it to twice a day, and then once a day, and then you stop completely. Remember to regularly dip teats in a teat disinfectant after milking and during the dry period to prevent mastitis. You can also reduce the water you give your cow in this period so that it makes less milk. If you don't dry your cow off, it can get illnesses such as milk fever because it has low levels of calcium. Right, so now the cow has been dried off. What next?
You are supposed to supplement this cow during the last 1 month, which we call the steaming up, so that you can get very good reserves, body reserves for milk secretion or for milk production. You have to supplement this cow.
As Kanyi went on to explain, you need to provide your cow the right supplements for its calf to be healthy and strong 2 weeks before it calves down. This period is called steaming up.
So for supplementation, you include dairy meal. Then for that, you are going to provide a very good protein supplement. We have Kupakula Gold. Kupakula Gold is a protein supplement which is going to help this animal to, 1, it is going to build up the body because it is a protein. Also, it is going to give this cow very good milk reserves because Kupakula Gold has Diamond V, and this helps in digestion, effective and efficient digestion. Also, Kupakula will assist the animal in getting high density of milk. The milk adds the protein and also the fat that are contained in the milk.
In this period, you keep giving Macric dry cow and add dairy meal and Kupakula Gold. Mix 100 grams of Macric dry cow, 200 grams Kupakula Gold in 1 kilogram of dairy meal. You will need this amount per cow per day. Stop giving Maklik dry cow 5 days before calving down. Steaming up is important because 1. You'll have a strong and healthy calf. 2. Your cow will have the energy and strength to give birth. And 3. Boost the cow's milk production once it has given birth. Make sure that your cows keep the same weight during this steaming up period. It shouldn't gain nor lose weight.
So if you follow that, and if you have any other question, we have Shamba, our call center. Simply call in. Our experts are there for any question because you work hand in hand with Mr. Kanyi here and all the other experts. You'll get the maximum help that you need.
To get Jane well on her way, we have to start with the structure. Kamau needs to get moving to get the cows comfortable. It is a lot of work as the shed is in a terrible state.
Due to climate change, the best way to practice farming is conservation agriculture. But how do we go about it? Let's find out.
I went to do kibarua in someone's farm and I got finances. Then I was able to plow. They have an acre. I bought seeds. I started with that, have an acre. And from that assuring, it's when I met with Mr. Tegemeo. We discussed and he told me I'm a suitable farmer. And he had an interest to assist me to farm more. And from that and have an acre, Tegemeo promised to be giving me seeds and chemicals so that I could manage my farming. And from there, with the Tegemeo, he normally gives me certified seeds and chemicals. And when I harvest, I sell all my ins to him.
Jane grows sorghum in partnership with Tegemeo, who buys her produce. Being in a semi-arid area, she needs to practice conservation agriculture. And David Iguna from Tegemeo is here to see how she can improve her production.
David.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Likewise to me.
Good. Do you know our farmer Jane?
Yes, I know her.
Ah, excellent.
I know her very well.
Yes.
So we are working with her with Tegemeo seed company.
Now, this area looks so green. Is it always like this, David?
No, it does not look green all the time. But because now it has laid, that's why it is like this. But if you come during the dry time, for example, August, September, you won't like the place. It works like if there is fire on your head.
What?
Yes, you can see very far. People have already cut the trees for the cultivation, so you can see how the area look like. Only that very few people have planted trees.
Is that true?
It is true. I'm trying to practice conservation agriculture.
Yes.
I've started to plant trees. You can see along my boundary, there are so many trees which I have planted. And even the other hand, I have started planting this season.
Good idea.
So that I can at least make my climate to be at least cooler.
Jane, in your conservation agriculture, do you have any challenges?
Yes, I have.
Yes, like which one?
You know, for now, when you are trying to dig those holes, it is very tedious because I have so many farms.
Very labor intensive.
Yes.
David,
Yes.
you have inspected Jane's Shamba.
Yes, very
From
well.
your observation, what have you seen? Is she doing the right thing?
First of all, I want to talk about the good things that I have seen from her.
Aha.
She has followed the spacing is very okay. The problem that I have found with her is that the number of the seed in the holes should not be the way they are. It should be maximum 2 to 3, that's all.
How many do you put in one hole?
3 to 4.
Any reason for that?
You see, when you are trying to put, some will go 4, others 3, because these things, they are very tiny.
So it's by mistake?
Yeah, it's by mistake.
I thought it was insurance in case one doesn't germinate.
No. You know, we normally plant certified seeds. So we know every seed will germinate.
Other thing that I have realized is that she works very tirelessly because she digs the holes. Those are sapiens. But there is this reapers, as she has said. Being an expert, just consult me. I will give you one. If you have a bull, then that exercise will be very easy.
So, Jane, you have a bull?
Yes, I have 2 of them.
You have 2 bulls.
Yes.
And how many reapers do you have?
6.
Yeah, case solved.
I will have to see him in camera.
In camera.
That can help.
Right. Okay. So now where were we? What else have you seen?
What I have also seen, please, when you weed for better production, you do the second weeding. The crop will do well. That is the thing that.
How do you control your weeds?
With the herbicide and digging manually.
If you had done enough mulching, this weed, the weed is for the second time, you will not have done it.
The expert went on to say that if Jane had left enough farm residue from her last harvest from the Shamba, she would have used them as mulch. This would prevent the weeds from growing and she would not need to do a lot of weeding.
Any other advice you'd like to give our farmer and farmers in general?
Yes. The sorghum, the nutrients is using from the soil is not the same nutrients houses is using. So to retain the fertility from Shamba, please use crop rotation in your farm every season.
Jane practices conservation agriculture. She digs pits to plant her sorghum. The expert suggests minimum tillage using a reaper. The reaper makes deep, narrow cuts in the soil that trap rainwater, ensuring the plants have moisture throughout the season. He also suggests mulching. This is where you cover your soil with plant material like harvested sorghum stalks or grass. The mulch will protect the soil from the harsh sun and retain moisture. The third is crop rotation. He suggests rotating her sorghum with pulses. This will add more nutrients to her soil. If she does this, she'll get even better yields.
Welcome to the Shamba Shape Up weather and farming news for Kenya. In the coming week, we expect heavy rainfall across Kenya. Majority of the north, upper and lower eastern counties will see rainfall of up to 50 millimeters across the week, apart from Mandera that will see less than 25 millimeters. However, Meru, Tharaka, Kitui, Machakos and Makueni will have high downpour reaching up to 190 millimeters across the week. Coastal counties will get very high amount of rainfall of up to 190 millimeters across the week. This includes Kilifi, Mombasa, Kwale and parts of Taita Taveta. Lamu and Tana River will also see high levels of rain of up to 75 millimeters across the week. Central Kenya will get very high total rainfall, reaching up to 190 millimeters across the week. This covers the counties of Nyandarua, Nyeri, Embu, Murang'a, Kirinyaga, as well as Nairobi and Kiambu. Laikipia will receive moderate levels of rains, reaching up to 50 millimeters in the week. North Rift Valley will also get moderate amount of rainfall of up to 50 millimeters across the week. This covers Turkana, Samburu, West Pokot, Trans Nzoia, Marakwet and Baringo. Central and South Rift Valley from Nandi, Kericho, Nakuru to Bomet will see slightly higher levels of rains reaching up to 75 millimeters this week. Parts of Narok expect very high rainfall of up to 190 millimeters. The western region will as well have high rainfall of up to 75 millimeters in the week. This cuts across Bungoma, Busia, Kakamega and Vihiga. The Nyanza region, including Siaya, Homa Bay, Migori and Kisumu, will get average rain of up to 50 millimeters in the week. Nyamira and Kisii, however, will get up to 75 millimeters of total rainfall. Farmer, keep harvesting rainwater from your roof and store it to use later to grow more crops when it gets dry. Also, dig trenches and water pans to store water and create terraces to stop soil erosion. Only reap your soil where you will plant instead of plowing the whole farm and cover the soil with mulch. It is also a good idea to plant crops that mature at different times so you have consistent food available. For a detailed weather forecast for your area and more tips, get in touch with Shamba. Call 0711 082 606. See you next week on the Shamba Shape Up Farming News for Kenya.
Coming up after the break,
we look at spraying and what you should do and should not do. And we completely change Jane's cow shed.
Welcome back to Shamba Shape Up.
In this part, we look at spraying and see what you should do and what you should not do. But first, we finish off where we left, as your farmer learns about how best to grow her sorghum using conservation agriculture.
Jane has a problem with her sorghum. It has been invaded by fall armyworm, and she has been spraying. But is she doing it the right way?
I haven't been trained on spraying. You see, like when the sorghum is flowering, there are some armyworms which enter there and they affect that plant. If you won't spray, you cannot harvest. It will eat all of it.
To help Jane with her spraying and safety, we have called Benson Gigi from AAK Grow, an expert when it comes to safety.
Jane,
Yes.
you're doing a fantastic job. I can see from your Shamba there's a big difference between your crop here and the neighbor there. What did you do to get it into this kind of a, good state?
I'm using CA, conservation agriculture.
And when it comes to weeding, how do you control your weeds?
First time, I use herbicide. I spray in between the lines without touching the seedling. After that, it's when I will come and weed normally with Jembe.
When using herbicides or pesticides, what should farmers do?
Hi, how are you, Madam Jane?
I'm very fine.
Yes. So who does the application of the herbicides and other pesticides on your farm?
I look for someone to assist me, and even I myself, I normally do.
The people who applied, are they wearing personal protective equipment?
They don't have.
Okay. These pesticides are usually poisonous. So the first thing that you need to protect your skin and the body is an overall. So the overall is to protect your body in terms of the abdomen and the legs and your hands. It is important that it has buttons that you can operate very easily. And a good overall should also have a cape to protect your head and your ears. And you also make sure that it is made from good material. The material should ideally be a blend of polyester and cotton. It is advisable for you to spray early in the morning or late in the evening when the sun is not very hot and the PPE is more comfortable during that time.
After using it, does the farmer need to wash it?
Yes. For all personal protective equipment, it is important that after every use, the ones that can be washed, you wash them to avoid accumulation of the pesticides that might have spilled on it. Excellent. And it is also important you do not mix the personal protective equipment and the domestic clothes. So they are supposed to be washed separately. You also need a pair of nitrile gloves. You will see that they have markings on the hands. These are supposed to enhance the grip so that when you are handling the bottles or you are handling the pump, you have a good grip and nothing will fall apart. And then for the face, we have a mask. The mask is meant to protect your nose and your mouth to prevent entry of the pesticides into your nose and mouth. This type of mask is known as a respirator. It has what is known as a cartridge inside here, and the cartridge is what filters the air. This one is not a disposable mask. So when the cartridge is used up, it is what you will change, and then you return it and put it in place for use. Then we have the goggles. You can see they are meant to protect the eyes, and they have ventilation so that when you are wearing them, they do not form a mist on the screen. The screen should also be made of Perspex plastic. It should not be glass so that in case it breaks, it does not harm your eyes. And then the elastic band is to hold it in place over your head. When you start sensing the smell of the pesticide, then you know your cartridge is worn out. And then finally, for our feet, we have the gumboots. They should be made of rubber. You should wear a correct size of the gumboots for ease of operation. And they should not have a lining. When you look at these ones, they do not have a lining. And the lining is to prevent accumulation of the pesticide. Just in case anything spills, it is a bit easier to wash. You should not use leather boots or any other form of boots that have a lining, because they will absorb the pesticide as you work in the farm.
Ah,
Yes.
Jane,
Yes,
any questions so far about the PPE?
I have.
Okay,
Yes.
ask our expert.
Now we are in the reserve and it is worn out. How will we get it?
Yes, we encourage the farmers to go to their nearest agrovet. We are also encouraging the agro dealers to stock up on personal protective equipment so that as they sell the pesticides, they are also making sure that the farmers are well protected. In these days of e-commerce, it is easy to make even an order from Meru town or Nairobi town, and it can be delivered to your farm. One other reason that we get from farmers that they are not using PPE is that it is expensive. But when you compare the cost that you use for other farm operations, let's say weeding, buying the pesticides, buying the fertilizers, a full set of this PPE will cost you around 4,500, but it will last you for even up to 3 years. So when you divide by the number of years, it is a very affordable investment that you make to protect your health.
Protect yourself properly when spraying. Ensure you have a good overall that does not soak moisture and has a head covering. Wear gumboots that do not have a lining that could soak chemicals. For your head, wear goggles and a mask. And finally, good gloves with a grip. Benina can now get right to spraying the fall armyworms. With the spraying sorted, it's time to have a look at the cowshed. Wow! It's done! A good floor, new feeding and water troughs, a roof to keep the animals cool in the heat and dry in the rain, and space for the dairy cow.
Come
Open your eyes, don't open your eyes. Just follow my
Slowly.
lead. Follow my lead. Tony, count.
1, 2, 3.
Voila!
Wow! Is this Muthune's house?
Yes.
I don't believe.
Why?
Can you notice the difference?
It looks nice.
Yes.
I think this part is for Muthune's bedroom. This one is the resting place.
Yes.
And the other one is feeding place. And here is where I shall be milking my Muthune. Oh, this is nice.
It is
Lovely.
nice.
Yes.
All this plus expert advice, you have no excuse but to get lots and lots of milk.
I will.
Yes. All right.
You're happy?
I'm very happy.
And with that, we leave Jane all shaped up. See you on the next Shamba Shape Up.